Every highway joins another. Every story joins the next. When us truckers stand together, silence finally meets its test. Stay strong, stay strong. Keep on going, keep on rolling, keep on rolling, keep on learning, and asking better questions every day. Keep on rolling, keep on speaking, your voice can lead the way. We belong to life, the strength of wrong versus right. We belong to truth, found on the front lines tonight.
Changes are coming, and everybody will like and will most likely make this show a force to be reckoned with. Stick around, be part of the fun, guys, because tonight we're taking on a new chapter here on Frontlines. Welcome to Frontlines. This is your place to be heard. One voice makes a difference, so speak out, because silence is our enemy. Before I go any further, I just want to take a minute and I'm going to talk to you about something that's been on my mind. You know, over the last couple of months, I've been focused, and I mean hyper-focused, on creating the best video, creating the best experience, making sure that everything's right, every I's dotted, every T's crossed. But I've been so mired in what needs to be done that I've lost focus with what this channel is all about. This isn't just a trucking channel, and it's not just a place to talk about news. This is a place for conversation. If you've been around me in this channel for a while, you've probably noticed that I've been experimenting with different things. And one of the things you haven't noticed is what I've been doing behind the scenes. I've been trying to figure out how to really connect with all you guys. I do it well through comments. I do it well, and I mean absolutely well, on lives like this. So one thing has become abundantly clear, and that's that this channel needs more connections like this, like what you're seeing now. So that's one of the things that I'm going to be focused on in the coming weeks and months. In the comments, I've seen it with your emails. I've seen it with just general comments. And I'm really touched by the idea that sometimes the videos just don't cut it. Sometimes they do. But the idea of me coming out and being on screen more and talking directly with you, that I think is what's going to make the difference. You know, my mother once told me something, and it sticks with me to this day. God bless her, she's no longer with us, but she says, you know what? You can have a conversation with somebody, and you can change a mind in 30 seconds. But that same conversation can also serve to change a life in one word. Think about that. If you could offer one person one word that could ultimately change the path of their life, would you stay silent? So I'm going to tell you something. I want this channel to be known for one thing. It's the place where everybody has a chance to speak up and their differences be ironed out and their voice be heard. So from here out, I want to welcome you to the show, welcome you to the experience, and I hope you get everything out of it that you can. Let's begin.
We belong to life, the strength of wrong versus right. We belong to truth, found on the front line.
We don't do it just for us and our families, we do it for you guys.
Next story I want to talk about tonight is one that kind of sets a little weird, if you ask me. We've been hearing a lot about Trump and everybody making the push to equalize the trucking markets, both in terms of unqualified CDL drivers, worded carefully, I'm sure, but also what to do with the difference in drivers. They're really worried for some reason about 200,000 drivers. Now, tonight I want to talk about two different avenues in which they're trying to attack this from the back to the front. I think they're going about it in a way that, well, let's just say they're trying to be a little bit sneaky about it. So let me bring up one guest. And in the process, I'm also going to play a video that I think you guys need to see and really need to understand what's really going on. Sean Whitwood, welcome to the show. I'm glad you could join us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, we have a lot to say about the way in which they're going about it. So just tell me at any point in time, I'm going to play this video. If you wanted to play it straight through or what, you kind of introduce me to the video itself, or we can stop it at any point in time. You tell me. But I want you to see exactly what Sean Duffy personally has subscribed to as his solution to the 200,000 driver problem.
And not an illegal alien? Did you drive things like this? Or this? Maybe even this? You drove the toughest roads on Earth, defending our freedoms.
Stick around.
Why not get paid to drive on ours?
You show me a pay stub for $72,000 and I quit my job right now.
How about 6 figures? Become a freedom hauler.
Do you ever think about that? I like it.
We like it too.
It's a real blessing.
And we're blowing up fraud. We want you on the front lines. Your road, your rules. Make your own hours, your schedule.
You sure about that?
Oh, we're sure.
Keep talking.
And did I mention medical benefits and sign-on bonuses? Training costs are completely covered for veterans. Because our heroes treat safety like a mission and rack up more miles doing it. Best part, you'll be on the road in a few weeks.
It's happening! Everybody stay calm!
What are you waiting for?
You can do it!
Your next mission deploys now.
And on the surface, that seems like a good story. And I'll be honest with you. I believe about as much of that as I believe the producers of America's Got Talent. I mean, honestly, here's the question I'd like to put to you and the audience. I'd like to know if you think we've just spent the last 90 seconds looking at an ad for Cover My Butt, or do you think it's a viable solution? Let us know. You've got two ways to do it. You can click the link, join us here on StreamYard. The link is in the comments. Unfortunately, I didn't pin it because I've been having issues of my own. Or you can call our studio line at 1-860-785-3547, and you can join us tonight on the show through the phone, and we can certainly be more than happy to hear what you have to say. So, Sean, what do you think? I mean, honestly, do you think this is a cover story, or do you think this is more of we got something else going on that we're just not willing to tell everybody about?
Yeah, I mean, I think he hit it right on the head. I mean, this is more of a story that we don't know about, and then we have to look at who's paying for this advertisement, right? Is this money coming out of the FMCSA? You know, like how long did it take him? What's this video costing us? As taxpayers, right? And the quality.
Here is my obvious question. I'm going to get to some comments here in a minute, but I mean, the way Trump worded something kind of has me bugged, and I want to play that for you because I caught that while I was fishing around for B-roll footage last week. I think really, personally, I think there's something going on here, but I want to bridge two things together. So bear with me a second here, because really I think there's more to what's going on than what Sean is putting out in his video. It's going to be a quick couple of seconds, but pay attention to this.
Place them with proud American veterans who are going to take our veterans, who are going to make them, we're going to teach them a lot about driving trucks. And in many cases, they know. We're going to say any American who's driven a heavy truck for our military will automatically be eligible for a commercial driver's license. So we're going to get them taken care of.
Automatically. Now think about that for just a minute. DOT and FMCSA have gone batshit over making sure that qualification standards are correctly addressed. And now, just because you're a veteran, now all of a sudden that's going to be overlooked. How many of you watching this think that that's an actually beautiful loophole and a beautiful way to create more of the same problem we just eliminated? What do you think, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, right? So if we look at veterans, what they do in the military, right? They convoyed, right? So they convoyed down interstates. Are they really interacting, downtown Chicago? Do they know how to back into a dock? If you look at these equipment, they're mainly off road, right? They're not on our highway. So I think eliminating or giving them the power to say, hey, you know what? You get the script to the front of the line, get your CDL, get out here on the road, start making money. I don't think it's wise. It's just the same loophole that we just got out of here, right? Maybe they can speak English, but can they actually physically do the work? And I'm not saying that they can't. I'm just saying that safety is what we always hear. We hear them preach every day. Every time somebody goes live, it's all about, we're doing this for safety. In the name of safety. Oh, it's safety this, safety that. But yet, we play this, right?
The more they talk about that, not to cut you off, but the more they talk about that, the more it starts to become a smokescreen for more money.
100%.
It's really being overplayed. Too much. So, I mean, every time I hear the word safety, I'm like, turn around and run. Damn it. It's just, it's really scary.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Every time they use safety, you almost have to look into see if it's safe or not. When safety should be number one priority. Yeah, we're using safety as a loophole to make something work for them. I mean, and bringing the veterans into our industry, more than glad welcome. But we should do it the right way, right? We should do it. Get them the training, get them the understanding of how trucking works, right? I mean, he's talking about giving 6 figures. I don't know about anybody here in this live, but I guarantee it in the beginning, 6 figures. What? Let's see. You're going to start at the bottom of the barrel. Do you get your training in? Maybe 50 cents a mile.
Just the way this video is being portrayed. I mean, by itself, I don't know about you, but it's a lie. It really is.
100%.
Because I mean, you can put Rambo up there all day. You can put all the video characters. You can make trucking look as glorious as you want. But then you're beginning to be part of the problem. Sean Duffy, you are the problem when you're sitting here putting up crap just like the major influencers do on YouTube, on TikTok. We're sitting here trying to communicate with everybody and tell them trucking is a serious business. It's not, run down the road looking like, Sylvester Stallone in, all the famous movies about truckers and all the other crap he's bringing. It's not that. No, it's not. No, you're not selling veterans on this. They know better, number one. And those of us that have been in it 20, 30 years, we know better. Frankly, I think he's really hired a piss poor marketing department. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, and it's at our dollars, right? I mean, that's the thing that people don't really see. I mean, he didn't just go make this to be cool on YouTube or on Facebook. His team built this. So what did he spend? We could have used actually probably what it cost to build that video. We could have probably used that for something that is actually safety, right? We could have bought probably. I don't know what he paid on it, but I bet we could have probably bought everybody in the trucking industry a new depth for tires.
Right? Yeah.
So
moment, man. I'm watching the feed here. I want to catch him while he's able to run. Vince, welcome to the show. Vince, with we Truckers Unite now. Do I have that right?
Yep.
You do. How you doing?
Yes. Welcome to the show. What do you think of Sean Duffy's new and greatest launch for let's get the truckers or the veterans in. What do you think of that?
Well, as usual, when Big Brother gets involved, to me, it seems like it just creates a bigger problem. I don't think that government is the answer. I think privately ran is the answer by the people that actually move the freight, the people that, the small carriers were 86% of this country's complete freight. I mean,
Right.
Sean Duffy, he didn't mention PTSD or anxiety.
No.
He didn't mention depression or trauma triggers, traffic crashes, explosions from tire blowouts, aggressive driving, sudden noises.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could go on and on, but basically, I think the government just, they follow what we say, and they try to fix things, and they break it and they make it worse. Leave it to the men and women that know what they're doing, that have millions of miles under their belt. Leave it to the true professionals. Leave it to them.
Truckin with biggest propaganda video I've ever seen. Thank you, Fate, for chiming in with that. Certainly welcome you to the show as always. You can also click the link if you'd like. Thank you for that wonderful opinion. He's also come on to say most veterans that I know have been screwed by the government. Now the government is saying it out loud over and over again. Yeah. It's laughable. It really is, because they're really trying to do something that honestly, I think they're going about it wrong. They really are. Let me bring up one more guest, and we'll have all of you up at one point in time later on. But Grumpy, welcome to the show. Glad you can make it to join us. What's your opinion of the latest and greatest?
Be honest with you, I'm kind of in agreement with the way Sean and Vince just explained it. I mean, our veterans are great folks, every single one of them, and I'm honored to have them, that they went out here and did good service for us, whether they actually did combat or not. But there again, I've, through my 25 plus years of driving, I've actually worked around a few that were retired veterans out of the military and that drive trucks already. And, it's not really,
It's really scary. It's really scary that they're trying to, because honestly, as I said to Sean a minute ago, and I'll bring him back up to kind of bounce back and forth ideas, but I said I thought it was really callous of them to put up this ad, put trucking out like an influencer. I mean, when the hell did the government get into the influencer business? Really, that's my question. Because that, to me, looking at that video, that's what it seems like they're doing. They're becoming the influencer that we should be, but on a different scale. You know what I'm saying? And it really hits me wrong. It really does.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, Sean, pipe up. I mean, whether you agree, disagree, otherwise, got two more guests to bring up. So we're getting them one at a time. So let me know.
Yeah,
what do you think?
I think that's a lot of the problem, right? We're seeing movie stars now being or movie actresses in our industry, right? That's running a trucking company across state lines. Like, at what point do we say, hey, you know what? Put a truck driver that knows the ins, the outs, understands the logistics and everything into it. Instead, we just use a guy with a beautiful face and knows how to dress up nice to run
Mr. Stallone in 3 or 4 shots, everybody will be sold, right? Yeah.
Absolutely, right? That pipes me up like, hey, I want to go join trucking tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Everybody wants to be, yippee-ki-yay, mother, whatever. That's the way they started out. Did you notice that? They started it out with that Die Hard clip. I thought that was really clever, if you ask me.
Actually, I would say he started out, a little bit on the racist side, right? He said that, are you not an illegal alien? I'm tired of these mothers, and it's all like, whoa, that's a strong statement, right? Because again, are we calling people, that came over on visas, or we call, what is your true input on saying that somebody's illegal, right? Because maybe they got a CDL and they got the DMV's messed up and gave them a longer stay than what they should had on what it was viced on their visa. So, I mean, how he started it out, man, that was it's a very, very fine line. So
it is. Seven Seas, or now Carnivore Truckin, Ed literally mentions driver training. Honestly, I've seen most of my battle buddies drive much better than so-called professional truck drivers, and six figures out of training isn't impossible. Let me tell you what else I heard, Carnivore. Yeah, he also comes up and says illegal alien doesn't mean any specific race. Well, that's true, but let me tell you one thing I did notice. I've been scanning a lot of media lately, and I've been watching what others have to say about this whole veterans and I think Sean may be guilty of something, and let me point it out. What I think he might be guilty of is just assuming that just because you're a veteran, you're automatically, and even Trump said it, you heard the clip when I played it earlier, I'll play it again if you want, but they're assuming that just because you've served in the military, you've somehow got this magic formula running through your head that you know how to drive an 80,000-pound vehicle. Okay? Anytime you talk semi-truck to most people that have never been in the military, what's the first thing you think of? Classic 18 wheels, 10 on a tractor, 8 on a trailer, right? They don't talk about over-dimension. They don't talk about specialized. They don't talk about reefer. They don't talk about cattle. They don't talk about all the wide-ranging differences in what could encompass a trucking career. Now, somebody who's got an MOS for carpool or whatever that MOS is in the Army.
88 Mike.
You're right. You're not automatically going to drive something that's 70 or 80,000 pounds. You might drive a Humvee. You might drive one of those modified, tankers, but they're not, anything I've heard them say. They're not anything close to what an 80,000 pound semi truck is here in the States. You actually are specifically trained in the military for the vehicle you drive. That's it. You can't drive anything else, or that vehicle can't be driven by you unless you're trained on it. So let's not cut mustard here. Let's really think about this. Just because you're in the military doesn't automatically say you're qualified. You still have to get the same training that you or I do, and you still have to meet the requirements that anybody else does. The difference between the military and somebody crossing the border with an AVD or, an authorized paperwork is they didn't get the training. That's the difference. And maybe that's what Carnival was trying to point out. I don't know. If it is, congratulations. Thank you for helping me. But, there's a big difference between an illegal driving a truck and a military vet. And let's not even get started on this whole six figures crap, okay? Because you know what? To me, if you want the honest opinion, enticing them with six figures is a slap in the face. Because, brother, that's what you and I are trying to do right now. We're trying to retain the integrity of this industry and make it so that our grandchildren can make that 6 and 7 figures if we want. How the hell are you going to bring in military vets on the guys that are going to make it when you know damn well you're only telling them a tenth of the story? Now,
right. And then insurance. And then with insurance, right? He was talking about giving insurance. How many owner operators out here that's making six figures that's actually got insurance, offered, paid, if we're going to do that for our veterans, why aren't we doing that for the guys that's been out here for 20, 30 years in this industry that doesn't have it? So again, get to the front of the line.
Speaking of veterans, we have one in the audience right now, or one on the panel. Thumper, what say you about this? Do you see that as a slap in the face, or what do you think?
Well, hold on. Let me. I'm still trying to process that damn video. like seriously, what the actual fuck? I'm sorry.
You want me to play it again?
No,
go ahead.
No,
you want me to play it again?
No. I don't ever want to see it again. First of all,
that's all I want to hear.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now. Your average military, bottom of the guy who gets into it, has been in it for 4 to 8 years, you're only making $40,000 a year. Wow. Military is the least paid job in the States. So figure that one out. Second of all,
that's great.
Yeah, if you're gonna entice somebody with $100,000, 6 digits, we're all chasing that right now. Second of all, you can make your own hours. Bullshit.
No.
Right.
You get told you got to be at places like, I'll tell you one thing with the military, for like, I got to be at this place at this time, and deadlines. Military does train you in for deadlines. I will give you that.
Right.
But you don't make your own hours, and then like health insurance and everything else like that, or insurance and stuff like that. Okay, first of all, I'm a 1099, so I don't get insurance. You guys might be a W-2. I'm not 100% sure. But does your company offer insurance? I highly doubt it.
And if they do, you can't afford it anyway, right?
Exactly.
Deductible's
So
too high, so what's the point?
everything they are saying in that video is a lie. Now, me as a veteran, being shipped overseas, and have PTSD, depression, anxiety, and all that other crap.
Right.
Sometimes it is very tough out here. But I found my comfort zone where I get to meet awesome people like you guys, where I could call you when I'm in a bad state, no matter what time of the night or day. So do I agree with veterans coming into the industry? Absolutely. And honestly, there's a lot more veterans in the industry than you guys already know.
Right. Hello to the viewer. I can't read the name on the screen because it's really tiny print, and I suck trying to read tiny print anyway. So whoever you are, thank you for joining us.
So them trying to get veterans in the industry, it's already here.
Yep.
Like,
So you think they're painting a picture that didn't need to be painted? The picture's already been painted.
Exactly. So if I pull 10 of my buddies that are in the industry right now, and use my fingers, I know you guys can't see me, but if I do 10, I put down 2 of them that isn't veteran.
There we go. Griff MC, one of our members, as well as Sean. Thank you for being that, by the way. One of our members. If you guys are wanting to support this channel moving forward, go ahead and click on the membership link. Griff is one of those. So hello, Semper Fi. I'd forgotten that you were in part of the military as well. Thank you for your service as well.
That video is a slap in the face for every truck driver that's out there right now. You're going to promise them all that stuff, but the ones who've been out here for 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, you're going to give them nothing?
I was trying not to go there, Thumper, but you forced my hand. Yeah, you're going to sit there and give a specific class of driver this highly tempting offer and tell them how great everything is. But in the meantime, what was the first thing you said, Sean, Sean Duffy, what was the first thing you said when you had your first press conference this year? American truck drivers first. You and Trump were going to put truckers first. So what do? You put through all this stuff about getting rid of illegals and getting rid of unqualified. Then you dangle it in front of everybody's face that you're going to replace us with robots and veterans. How in the hell do you think we feel? Amen. Come on, brother.
But hold on.
Let me have
So you're going to sit there and promise all these new people that are veterans coming in. What does the existing veterans get? Because I'll tell you this right now. Us working a full-time, even like me, I got medically discharged from the military. I got hurt overseas. I gave up my disability so I could put food on the table for my family.
Yep.
Because disability didn't pay shit.
Sean, I've got one guest backstage, but if I remember correctly from last week, she was just more or less content with sitting back. I don't know if she wants to join us. Samantha, I don't know if you're familiar with that. I don't know.
So,
I'm gonna bring her up, and we'll see if she wants to. I mean, the show's for everyone, so let me just find out from her. Samantha, you want to participate? You got something you want to add or what?
Absolutely. I've been researching this for 2 days.
Well, let me hear it. Come on now. The show's all everybody's. Now, come on now.
So first of all, you're looking at a population that already has significant mental health concerns that are not appropriately addressed by the government that sent them to fight for freedoms that will or will not exist, okay? Then they come back, and now you have this bait and switch where they talk about 6 figures and a bunch of nonsense. Everything that they said in that video, their own data says is not true. They are not consistent with themselves, which is very, very common with what I see in this political environment. So,
Right.
so let's start there with the blatant lies that they told. And then let's throw in the propaganda where they said front lines. They said your next mission. First of all, how do you have the audacity to say to someone who gave up family, who gave up well-being, who gave up peace of mind to go fight for somebody else's freedoms while they left theirs in the dust, and then tell them you've got another mission for them? What on earth is wrong with you that you would open your mouth and let it form those words? And that's just the tip of the iceberg, gentlemen.
Wow, we got too fired up, didn't we?
Yeah.
I mean, hey, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that is not the right way to feel, honestly. Because honestly, I'm not a military vet. I'm sorry. I'll be honest with you. I've never served in the military, but most everybody in my family has. So I can sympathize with anybody who feels the way you just described, Smith. I really do. But I'll tell you honestly, all I ever want and all I ever stand for on this channel is truth and honesty. Don't bait and switch me with classic example is how I was hired. The first job I went into, okay? I'm not going to mention the company because I'm not here to sully a name. But what the company promised was a certain amount of cents per mile. And they promised home time at a certain interval. I worked for them for a grand total of 9 months and quit because they did not live up to the promise. Now, mind you, the money wasn't the issue. It was the fact that they lied to me in recruiting. That's what turned me off. So now, if as the head of the DOT, you're going to spur out a marketing campaign and tell everybody across the country that there's a push on to put veterans in place and give them the promises you put in this video, mister, you're no less guilty than that company that hired me. And I'm honestly ashamed that that's happening. I really am. I thought for sure that the moment Trump and Duffy both came out and said, we're for truckers, I thought most of our trouble was over. But I'm starting to see, based on that video, you guys are lying to us, and you're not telling us the whole truth. And that bothers me.
Yeah, absolutely. What picture are they trying to paint? I mean, that's what we have to dig into.
Yeah. Yeah, and don't forget, boss man, the American Trucking Association, the FMCSA, Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, all the positions, 80% of the positions in there are people from mega carriers, big insurance corporations, right? They're all people that lie and say things to Congress and Senate like there's a truck driver shortage, right? There is no truck
Big Mike
driver
says
shortage.
they make
problem.
promises and don't live up to them. Big Mike, that's who you are. I couldn't read the print earlier. I'm sorry.
That's okay. We have a truck retention problem, but we don't have a driver shortage. We never did.
Yeah. Good evening, Chief Hauler. Thank you for joining us tonight. Let me see. We do truckers as you. All right, Thumper, I'll bring you up in a second. Make sure your signal stays.
No, it wasn't my signal.
Oh.
I have somebody coming in who is a veteran.
Oh, good.
So you will have to replay the video, and he'll be fired up just as bad as me and Samantha, is it? I think it was. Yeah. He'll have some really good input on this. So he's been in the industry for over 15 years, also.
All right. Well, as soon as that person, are they joining the panel or just joining the show? I mean, what are they doing?
I gave him the link, and they're going to jump in. So he's getting everything set up.
Good. All right. Well, I welcome the opportunity. I mean, in the meantime, let's.
I'd love to address one more.
Go ahead, Samantha. Go ahead.
Sorry about that.
No, go ahead.
Something that you said at the beginning, maybe they have a bad marketing team. No, they have a perfect marketing team. What you need to do is compare this video with the statement that the statements that the administration has made about this program. This is very consistent. The messaging is extremely consistent. The marketing team didn't screw up. The marketing team did what they were told to do. They were probably sitting in the background going, "Dear God, we have to sell this. We're good at what we do. We we have a reputation to protect, and yet because the president's called on us, this is the crap we have to put out." That's probably what happening on that marketing team, Rude.
Yep. I can just picture it now. The two people that were probably most involved were were probably Derek Bars and Sean Duffy himself. Those were probably the two people most involved in that little foray, if that's what you're wanting to refer to it as. But those are probably the two. They're seeing it as their miracle cure to solving the problem. That's what I think is personally going on.
But what problem are we trying to solve, though, right? I mean, that's what we got to look at. What's the big picture? What is the picture that they're trying to get the message out? Are we putting, as Thumper said already, right? There's already veterans in the industry. What are we doing here? Are we trying to put veterans in to make it our industry go a different angle? Or are we putting veterans in there because we can't afford to put them on disability? Like, what is it? I mean, and when we look at this, right, here's the thing that really bothers me the most, right, is when we put them in that have the PSD and everything else, and maybe they got an injury in there. What are they going to do once they start driving when they have to do a medical card, right? Are we going to lie about our Simpsons so we can keep on continuing because we were promised 6 figures and that's how we pay our bills, and we don't get 6 figures? When they done this video, they should have really took a clear mind and said, "Hey, let's not give false hope. Let's not try to get our veteran, out here." Because I'm not talking about the ones that may have been behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Working on a computer or whatever. What I'm talking about is the guys that's actually been on the front lines and had to do the sacrifices. Now they come back over, and now we're gonna put them in a truck. And we gotta look at that, right? We have to look at them as a whole. Our industry, we need to welcome them in, and we do that already, right, Thumper? But we need to
the idea of proper pay and proper training, I think, is paramount, and I think that needs to be focused on. And I don't get the feeling that's even a factor. Bear in mind, guys, I've got one guest in the background. I think it was what's his name was referring to in a minute. I'll bring you up in a minute, William. I want to address the comment though. Chief Grade Holder says, "I started sleeping better once I realized that nobody from the government / ATA or any other organizations are going to help make my life easier or better. Only I can do that." Okay. Correct. Very good to say. The other thing I got going on too is I got Griff on the studio line. So Griff,
I was gonna add a little bit more to what Sean was saying too, but go ahead with Griff. Sorry, I didn't realize he was on the phone.
Yeah. Go ahead, Griff. What say you on this whole thing?
Well, for one, I really wish they would bring back the $50,000 guaranteed loan, stuff like that. It's nice that they got the deal for where you can get a house and stuff to guarantee it, but that would help me out personally a lot, just being able to get $50,000 to invest in my truck and get it up and going and get going into this industry. But I keep getting people like at me cross. I say, "Oh yeah, sorry."
$50,000. I mean, that might help you, but I don't think that's going to do a whole lot for the average truck driver, if you ask me.
Well, don't.
I've been out for 25 years, boss man.
Have you?
Back when I was getting into, they had this program for $50,000. You could use it for either down payment on a house, start it, you can use it for whatever you wanted.
Yep.
The government guaranteed it.
Yep.
I really wish they had left that in when I started getting this. I really wish they still had that around.
Yeah. Well, they've made a lot of changes.
It's like jumping. find help out. But then, like you bring it, caller said, you got to do it yourself if you want to get that more or less. So.
It's very true. Very true. We're going to move on. We got a lot of guests with us tonight, a lot of new people joining us. Griff, I'd like hearing your opinion anytime. You're welcome to call us back and certainly say more. But I got to work on this whole studio line thing, so I want to make sure everybody can hear us.
All right. I just want to say I missed on trying to get in on live chat. I just get live. So.
Well, that's fine. Yep. You can also click the link if you'd like and join us. I got up to 10 slots, and so far only 6 of them are home notes. So you're welcome to join us there too if you'd like.
For some reason on YouTube, it's not letting me open up the panel.
Yeah, I have one of my panelists that had that same problem, so I feel you, brother. So call us back, and we'll certainly entertain. By the way, I don't know if you caught the opening of my show. This is not the only time I'm going to go live. It may not be front lines during the week, but you're certainly welcome to call us during those times as well. I'm working on trying to make the phone lines more audible, so patience with everybody and patience with you, Griff. I thank you for the call.
All right, thank you.
God bless you.
Have a good one.
Keep her rolling, my friend. Thank you. All right, let me bring up William on what he wants to say real quick. Tom, go ahead.
Well, so when you're bringing him up, because you're gonna have to replay the video for him, but to bounce off of what Sean was saying, the real question is, what are they trying to hide from us? The government always does this. They promise this stuff, but they're hiding something else from us that they're trying to get past. So are they trying to fix the problem? Are they trying to fix the problem with the illegals by saying this to make us happy?
Yep. Well, we've got one more factor in this that we're going to introduce tonight. So those of you watching, this isn't all we're talking about. And there's 2 panelists that know exactly the direction I'm going in. And there's something I'm going to introduce myself. So bear with me, guys. We are going in a direction with this show. It's about to get really lively. So let me bring William up.
Exciting.
William Randolph, I'm told by Thumper that you have some military experience. So what say you? And you're welcome to wait and let me play the video or just tell me what you've got to offer. Either way.
I think you should play the video. So
yeah, I'll see that first.
Yeah, so he kind of knows what we're talking about.
Okay. Well, without further ado, let me play that then.
And not an illegal alien? Did you drive things like this? Or this? Maybe even this? You drove the toughest roads on Earth, defending our freedoms.
Stick around.
Why not get paid to drive on ours?
You show me a pay stub for $72,000 and I quit my job right now.
How about 6 figures? Become a freedom hauler.
Do you ever think about that? I like it.
We like it too.
It's a real blessing.
And we're blowing up fraud. We want you on the front lines. Your road, your rules. Make your own hours, your schedule.
You sure about that?
Oh, we're sure.
Keep talking.
And did I mention medical benefits and sign-on bonuses? Training costs are completely covered for veterans because our heroes treat safety like a mission and rack up more miles doing it. Best part? You'll be on the road in a few weeks.
It's happening! Everybody stay calm!
What are you waiting for?
You can do it!
Your next mission deploys now.
Right there. I mean, that's quite a bit. Let me see if I can get my screen to work right there. We go.
You'll be on the road in a few weeks. What an insult. That scares the living daylights hearing that. So you'll be on the road in 2 weeks? Never have driven a truck? Is that what you're saying?
Right.
That's crazy.
Well, I'm going to throw military experience aside here.
That's actually part of the problem we're trying to eliminate. Go ahead, William.
So I've been driving for about 20 years, and I did my 4 in the Marine Corps as a motor T operator. I was a truck driver when I came into the trucking industry, and I used to train students, and I had several of them that would come onto my truck, and I was an owner-operator, that would openly admit to me that they came from the Philippines or from anywhere in the world, and that they've never driven anything bigger than a freaking car in their entire life, let alone, even a bus or a grain truck, dump truck, anything like that. And these companies have no issues pushing people through and training them like that. Now, this being said, I look at this video, okay, so being a truck driver in the Marine Corps and being a truck driver in, on America's roads are two different things. Yes, there are some similarities. We had a lot of training, but it was more, combat based and, being able to stay under the radar and everything else, drive at night, run convoys. Obviously pre-trips are a big thing, but the way I see this is, a few weeks, I guess it depends on the situation. I mean,
Sure.
I hauled fuel in the Marine Corps. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, I had tractor trailer experience before I came onto the road. But like I said, a few weeks of training, where I've been kind of reading up on some stuff about this and where I can agree, yes, encourage veterans to come drive trucks. I'm perfectly fine with that. Freaking the VA, offers a lot of programs where, the troops to truckers and stuff like that, where they can get out and they get training. Freaking shoveling them out the freaking door, and putting them behind the wheel, I don't think is the best idea. I don't agree with that.
But
I feel that,
you have
that there's
experience.
that
You
a
have
lot of those,
experience, sure.
operators and stuff are more qualified than most of the freaking students I had come on the road too.
But the one thing that Vince said, I want to key in on that. One thing that Vince said is really something that's very concerning to me, and that's simply the idea that here we are.
I don't have any audio.
Oh, refresh it.
Yeah, refresh. So.
Oh, I'll text them real quick.
Yeah, text him, let him know. One of the things that concerns me is that we spent the last year, really pushing. Reset your signal if you can understand me. I don't know if you can.
But, so this is the issue that I have. That's why I keep dropping out, coming back in.
Yeah, I get
my
it.
audio
I get
will cut out, so I got to
technical difficulties.
just did it again.
Anyway, to my point though, we're seeing this huge push for the last year, talking about everybody's need to be trained and well trained and all this. How the illegals aren't trained well. We got all these CDL schools and CDL mills that just aren't doing things right. And then here we're hearing videos like this, and Vince, you pointed it out. I mean, they're talking about training in weeks. You don't train in weeks. You take, I mean, the minimum school that I know of that actually is a quality training school takes 7 weeks, 160 hours. That's just to get out the door. And they want to push veterans through in 2 weeks. Did I hear that right? 2 weeks?
2 weeks, couple weeks.
Yeah. And here's another point, right? That's really disturbing to me is when you're telling a veteran, we want to put you out on the front lines. Are we saying, hey, we want to use our veterans to, control our people in the United States? Like those are some words that you gotta listen to it, if we're going to spend taxpayers' money to do something, let's do it right. Let's not make it a joke to try to get people in here. So these are the things that I listen to, and I'm just all like, wait a minute, why would you be advocating for that? So that's the big thing. And then
let me catch up with comments. Lyle, it says truckers are the backbone. The FMCSA doesn't really care about safety. Well, we already know that. Carolina Carnivore comes up and says, well, I guess I just disagree mostly. After discharge, I made $100,000 first year fuel hauler. Now, see, that's a specialty. So I get that and I understand that. And said paid training if a vet can handle missions across the pond. Trucking ain't that difficult. No, it's not. I mean, and I understand why you disagree, but at the same time, I do believe what they're doing is they're marketing it the wrong way. Because like Vince said, they're promising quick training and good money. But hell, I've been in it 15 years and I'm just now getting comfortable. I'm not making, oodles of money, but I'm, it's taken me 15 years to figure it out. And you expect a veteran to come in here and like that? Come on now.
I remember going through.
Man, I respectfully disagree with trucking isn't that difficult. A lot of folks say that. Let me ask you a question. Are they driving 3,000 miles a week? Are they going the stress of not being home, not getting a good meal, living in a 73 square foot box, dealing with dispatch, traffic, really bad weather, stress of getting there? I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. We don't just drive. We deal with so many different multitasking situations, and within seconds we're at least 5 times a day today in 2026, we're performing safety maneuvers and saving lives every day. With the cell phones coming out nowadays, everybody, 8 out of 10 people are literally have their cell phone glued to their hand. So
They do.
what
Sean,
do
you got to
do?
admire.
It's
Lila
not
says thanks for all your hard work.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is what it's all about. I mean, finding research and fact checking it. That this is what we're doing, right? With this video, it's taking it what somebody put in that's pushing it down, and like I said, veterans coming into our industry, we welcome with our arms wide open. You know what I mean? We have to respect them to come in, but do we utilize it? Again, how are we painting a picture, and what are they doing? Because most of the time, like I think it was Thumper that said, when the government's got you looking over here, they're doing something else on the other side, and this is what we need to be investigating and saying, what are you guys doing? Because there's some more clips that'll come down that you're going to see showing. They're saying that we have a driver shortage, right? But do we really have a driver shortage? And that's what we're out to prove. These are the facts that we need to be looking
on that one yet.
Okay, so
yeah,
it's that whole Houdini thing right there, like what you and I just described. But when this bill or whatever passes or whatever they're trying to do to push this through, what else are they going to add into it?
Absolutely, and it's like a purse, right? We know what this Build American 250 Act is coming. We know that it has to pass in September 30th. It can be amended, but it has to go past. So why are we showing that, hey, there's a big problem, but yet now we're going to say we're going to go get veterans to come in when we already know that veterans are already here, right? We know that most of them have.
We already have a lot on our plate because we, by design, just me by nature, I have this journalistic mindset everywhere I go, with every article I look at, every video I see. So I mean, we're already behind the 8 ball trying to prove accountability and truth exists. Now when they're putting out a video like this, it's like I'm taking 2 steps back and I'm sitting here thinking, what the hell? I mean, why is it we're so geared up to lie to people so much that, I mean, does this bill that they're trying to push, does it really mean that damn much to them?
It does. It really does.
I mean, here's a reality check for all you guys, and Billy can agree with me on this because he's a veteran. I'm a veteran. The reason why veterans go into trucking is because we can't handle a job where there's a shit ton of people and they could trigger us in one way or another. So trucking is kind of our safe space, I guess you could say it. Yes, we still deal with people, we still deal with the shippers and this and that who can be rude and everything, but our attention span can tolerate if we were
you're cutting out a little bit, Thumper, so just wait on your signal.
So Boss Man,
Cheap Freight Hauler says nobody cares about safety. They only want you to think they care. When I went 1 year without a truck accident, the billboard lawyers would be crying in D.C. So I don't know what exactly he means on that one. He says, and oh, by the way, if you're a 1099 and you don't have insurance, that's a decision you made. Been in the business since 2019 and have had medical insurance since day one. So, yeah, insurance is another thing. I mean, if you've been in the military, you're not being priced the same as insurance as the rest of us. I mean,
I'd like to hit that topic, right? So the person that just said that 1099, right? That's our choice, right? That's what they're replying, right? But let me tell you a choice that we have. If I go buy a semi, right, and I want to be an owner operator, not leased on, I want to go get my own company, my own name. I'm investing my money to buy tires. I'm investing to keep the road safe, right? So when we say 1099 is our choice,
right?
What choice are we talking about here? Are we talking about if I was to go work for a mega carrier and say, hey, I want to be a 1099, or do I say, hey, I want to be a W-2? So we have to be more specific when we're asking people questions with a 1099, because you don't have a choice right off the rip to be a W-2. You have to get out there and you got to get that money going. You got to start saving it around. Then yes, eventually you can put yourself from your LLC for insurance. So I mean, again, we just got to be clear when we ask these questions to make sure that they're right. And I'm not down you in any way. I'm actually just trying to pick you up and say, hey, you know, how you ask the question, right? Or you know, the backlash of it, right? So these are the things that we definitely need to be investigating. That is 1099 a real choice? Is W-2 a real choice? Is insurance a real choice? Because anywhere else in the country that you go and you see in other industries, there's trucking, you can't base it off with anything. That's why a lot of banks don't want to actually give money out, because they can't say, hey, the last 5 years, this is what you're going to predict. You know, if you're going to open up a restaurant, we can say, hey, this is how much of the slice of the cheese is going to be. This is how many people are in your area, so they can actually get that loan out. Where we're trucking, we can't do that. So again, it's not to bash you, but just clarifying.
Want to welcome Griff to the show. He actually figured out how this whole StreamYard thing works. So welcome to the show, Griff. Glad you can make it.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. So what you got that you were trying to say on the phone? I haven't figured this whole phone thing out, and I know the guys watching. It's hard to hear, so I'm sorry.
We'll get it down.
Oh yeah, eventually.
Like I said before, I've been out for 25 years. I'm a Marine Corps veteran. I got out just before 9/11. So everyone that's actually been overseas, thank you for doing that. Heck, it was fun watching TV. Say, oh, I know that guy, I know that guy, I know that guy from when I served. But anyways, on the 1099, right now I'm not as a company driver, but Boss Man knows, Thumper knows, even Grumpy knows. I own my own truck. It's broke down on me right now. I've been trying to get money around to get it fixed. It's not much, but it put me in the hole when I was down for 2 weeks. And it cost me almost, probably about almost 20 grand because I had a rear differential.
Jeez, man.
And unfortunately, I didn't have enough money left in the bank to survive over. So it was just a snowball effect. Then I had time to go out.
Same story that happened to me. Sounds like the same story that happened to me. The whole reason I'm where I'm at now is because I couldn't come up with the money to fix my old truck. So, yeah. What were you going to say, Vince?
I was going to say, and there lies the problem. Instead of the government helping the American people, and don't forget for a second, there is no such thing as government funded. Everything is taxpayer funded, period, end of story. If there's money with the U.S. government, that's our money that we paid for, that we worked with our life for. So
that's what you're looking at right now on the right-hand side of your screen. That's government money right there. Money you paid.
That's right. I would much rather see veterans getting in these trucks and being able to support their families or themselves than see mega carriers hire lobbyists that then go and give gifts to Congress and Senate to create lies like there's a truck driver shortage, to then get laws passed like we need 200,000 work visas because we have a truck driver shortage. Now we get 200,000 truckers here that aren't even qualified, that get in a truck in 2 weeks, drive off. And then on top of that, not only is the mega carrier, which is only 14% of this country, the weight of the country is not even on the mega carrier's back. It's off ours.
That says truck driving is 7 times more dangerous than 7 times more dangerous than law enforcement.
Well, you have a mega carrier making a ton of money. You have a lobbyist making money. You have a congressman or a senator making a ton of money, and then the truck driver that's here from overseas, right? We don't blame them for wanting to support their families, but then 90% of their income they're sending to a completely different country, so that money is not circulating within the United States. So if you want to know why everything is failing for the American citizen, the American truck driver, there you go. There's a roadmap. Let's help each other first.
Yep. One of the reasons I think, besides what you mentioned a minute ago, Sean, one of the reasons I think that they're pushing all this is because of something you mentioned a minute ago. So let me play something just to give the rest of the audience a perspective on what's really going on here.
Pace with current economic growth in this country, we've got to move another 2.7 billion tons of freight. I need more drivers, I need more trucks, and I need innovation. I need all of it. And running autonomous vehicles, levels 1 through 4, which still require a driver, make drivers smarter, make technicians smarter. They're all going to benefit from this. You'll probably see some level 5 from Texas to Southern California.
Okay, so he's going to sit here and go through all the details. Big freaking whoop. But did you catch what he first said?
I did. I need. And that's always a red flag when you have somebody saying I, in any part of it, right? Eyes are not good. And now we're starting to learn that when we hide the eye behind safety, these are the wrong results we're getting. So, is he the one that's pushing this? I couldn't tell you, but is he part of a team that's pushing it?
You honestly have to wonder.
My opinions and facts, those are always the ones that always get in the way and hang each other up.
3 seconds. Listen carefully. 3 seconds.
Economic growth in this country, we've got to move another 2.7 billion tons of freight. I need
2.7 billion tons of freight.
Sounds like a lot, right? It sounds like tons of freight, right? That sounds like impossible. But if we take that number, right, and we take that the billions of pounds, it comes out to 5.7 trillion pounds. Okay, that's great, 5.7 trillion pounds. But now we take the workload of the drivers that we have now with the non-domiciles out of the picture, because this is what our workforce is now. That only gives you 22 loads per driver, 22 loads. So if we're moving that much freight and it's only 22 loads out of the 3 million truck drivers, do we really have a driver shortage, or are we saying, hey, now Vince, you only get 2 loads a year. I'm only going to get 2 loads a year.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And then we look at
Now the math ain't mathing very well, is it?
the math ain't mathing. And then we look at railroad, right? So now we look at railroad takes a portion of our percentage of this, right? They're hitting all-time record high of profit margins. Look at Warren Buffett. He just came out and said, hey, man, this is the best year since we've had in a long time. So when he's saying he needs or I need, these are the things that we should be investigating. When somebody says I want to go out and figure out who he is, because I don't know about you guys, but who is he? I mean, is he somebody that's the president don't even say I need, he says we need. Right. So it's very scary. Let's just put it that way. That he's pushing it.
Everybody on this panel is famous for saying it's time for us to actually demand that they fight for us rather than themselves. Because even Lila points out what a disgrace the government is doing, what they're doing to truck drivers. And then even the average person recognizes what's going on here. At the start of the year and at the start of the campaign, everything was fine because they wanted to push the truck driver and they wanted to make lives better for us. But now, with this video and other recent facts that I'm starting to slowly see, I don't get the feeling that there's a whole lot of love going on here. I tend to think like a commenter just put it out about it all being, what was it? Griff put up earlier, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, Griff, because you're on the panel. It's because they're in for themselves in DC. Basically, it's what your comment's saying.
Yep.
It would take it away, Griff. I mean, you wrote the comment. I don't know exactly what you meant, but I kind of agree.
I need to look at it real quick to see exactly what I said.
Yeah, I don't know what you were exactly saying, but
the government doesn't care about our pursuit of happiness at all.
What I was saying
that's just
is,
it, Vince. They don't. You're right, Vince. They don't.
What the response was for the person who was going on about 1099. It was our choices.
Oh, okay. I see.
I would rather be a 1099 because I can use the money for what I need for it at that moment. I got screwed this year on my taxes because I was still making my truck payment.
That's a debate for another video, and I welcome it. But I'll tell you honestly, you make the choices. You make the choices you make for yourself.
But to the point though is, if I knew that by saying that I was paying on my truck, because I still filed underneath my LLC, but I drove for a full year as a company driver, but half of it was for a little bit for as an owner operator. I lost about $30,000 for taxes and stuff because they said I was $19,000 short because I said I was paying on my truck, and with my paying on the truck stuff, that's where it kind of
they don't care. They just
Thumper,
come up
you
with
wanna-
magical numbers, you know.
Thumper, you want to address the comment on screen? Cheap Rate Hauler says the schools only teach you to pass your CDL test. It's up to the company that hires you to train you. What is your thought on that one?
Ooh, do we have Thumper?
Well, no, he went backstage. He must have had a signal problem.
Hold on. Sorry, I've been having that audio issue. Every time somebody drops out or you switch the screens, I lose all audio.
I don't remember to look at the panel.
Yeah.
I'm so focused on
Well, I
everything else. I'm
texted
sorry.
you, but anyways,
Yeah.
no, I've been actually trying to like flag you down and everything else because the first time I lost audio, somebody was asking me a question.
I'll let
So
you
I
go
didn't
then.
catch
Go ahead.
that question.
Yeah.
But no, mentorship.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I stand with it. You're not gonna get any better training than mentorship.
Yep.
Someone that you can call no matter in what time of the day. I mean, hell, I call Billy a lot on stupid stuff. Like I should know it, but I do. I call him like, hey, what the, you know.
Yep.
You know, that's kind of where I stand with that. I mean, does the schools there to teach you how to drive, but it is the company's responsibility to train you or get a mentor for you to specialize in what you're doing.
But doesn't that kind of sound like the wild, wild west of safety, kind of in a way? Like I hear what you're saying, right? But if we don't have a professional basic standard of training with safety, for example, a lot of people don't teach grades. You know, I live in Reno, Nevada, right? Truckin, California, Donner Pass Summit, 6% grade going westbound. That's Trucking 101 for downgrades, right? But nobody taught
Look
me.
what Cheap Roller's saying on the comment on screen right now. He says the old hands in here would be surprised at what modern tests consist of.
Well,
I don't know about that.
I can maybe put that in a way that some veterans might be able to understand. Since I was an infantryman in the Marine Corps,
I lost sound again. I'll be right back.
All right.
They taught me the basics that you need to do for patrolling, you know, contact and all that other stuff. But once you got to fleet or your unit, it's a totally different world. So, but basically, most of the CDL schools nowadays don't even teach you the basics. They just tell you, okay, they give you a cheat sheet, you pass your test, they throw you out there. They don't even teach you how to back up.
And that's 90% of it. I mean, a lot of these guys are getting cheat sheets because, I mean, I'll admit, I mean, I looked up online. There, you can find them anywhere. And,
Well, no, they hand you the cheat sheet, right? They literally now have made it to where you get a piece of paper to do your pre-trip, and it tells you what you got to point out. You have to point out, and he has to look at it. But here's the thing that brings up a great topic that we were talking in your last live, right? Was at what point do you say the federal government should control this part, and this part we should try to keep it in the state levels, or this part we leave it into the company's hands and not into a state level, or does this need to be on federal? And that's safety. If we're gonna use the FMCSA to say, hey, safety, I would think that's the part they should be regulating, right? That's the part that they should be really standing in and say, hey, maybe we do have a problem if so many people.
I've argued on quite a few of my lives. Well, you may not have known that, but I
know you have.
You can attest to the fact that I've said that we need to federalize or put it one way or the other, state or federal, but none of this crap we got today. And I think that would go a long way to breaking the confusion, if you will. So, I mean, nobody's willing to do that.
Well, and I think there should be something on your license, right? You should go through a training, and then you get an endorsement to be a trainer, right? So that way we know that you've been properly trained to be a trainer. 180-hour course. Well, we got to do a 160-hour course to get our CDL. If you want to take on that challenge, you should have a trainer endorsement.
Yeah, instead of just being 6 weeks into business and all of a sudden you're training somebody. How often have we ran into
3
that?
weeks? 3 weeks. I mean, in some cases, we can look back and we can see 3 weeks of driving, and now they're a trainer training somebody else. And Thumper said it best, right? Yeah, there's mentor, but I think training and mentor go hand to hand, right? So most of the time these guys get out here, or gals, they get trained, their CDL, they get stuck in a truck. Another trainer's team driving. That's what we'll call it for. And then they disappear. They get in their own truck. Who are they calling and having conversation with when, 3 years down the road and they need some advice, or 6 months? Because I don't know about you guys. I've been in the industry for 14 years, and at year 10, I'm still calling and asking my mentors that were with me in the beginning, what should I do?
Exactly. See, there you go. You just, I was just going to bring that up when you said training and mentorship is the same thing. You are wrong on that, buddy. I'm sorry. I will argue until I'm blue in the face, because trainers will train you to do the job, and that's it. A mentor will stay there and answer your phone call.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah,
that's what I was saying.
You kind of backtracked a little bit, but you said they were the same, but then you backtracked
they should be.
to that.
I'm saying they should be the same.
Oh, okay.
Let's not cut
They should be the same.
Yeah. Let's not cut issues, because I really fully agree with the fact that what Sean said's right. They should be, and what I've said in previous shows should be the case, and that is we need one standard across all 50 states, across one industry, one standard, one industry,
Bingo.
one road,
Bingo.
one coach. Tell me if you haven't heard that, folks.
I've heard that.
What I mean. That's what I mean.
That's exactly what it is, and that's something I've been trying to bring up in every show. Is every state has different rules, but yet we're federally regulated, but that state trumps federal. How is that fucking fair?
Well, and why aren't we using our wise people? Where are our 2 and 3 million mile folks, right? I guarantee you there are a lot of retired men and women out there that have 2-3 million miles, 20, 30 years, and they want to teach, right? Because what do you do when you can't drive a truck anymore? What do? You teach, right?
There you go.
So
there you go.
Grumpy Giggles, right? I guarantee you, if you were give him a great salary and have him teach a class or have him mentor a bunch of men and women that are just now getting out there driving, Grumpy's the guy I want to teach me how to get out there and do the right thing, because it's not just holding the steering wheel. There are so many things to trucking that they do not teach that should be implemented. I mean, when I first got my CDL and got my first job, I didn't even know how to hook up a truck to a trailer, and that's with 6 weeks of school. I didn't know how to hook up a tractor to a trailer.
Could I make a comment?
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, Samantha. Sorry. Go ahead. You've been quiet. Go ahead.
I'm so sorry. Have you guys not? Do you recognize that every time they decide to regulate something, it's the thing that gets in your pocket? Hours of service is about getting in your pocket. Everything that they do is about getting in your pocket. It'll never be about safety. These people don't care about safety. They don't care about you. It's about the dollar, and it's about taking dollars from you to give to somebody else. Since 1980, the goal has been to eliminate the 92% so that the mega carriers could take over. It's been the goal. Now, here's what's crazy. You guys are so doggone good at what you do. You're so amazing at navigating these obstacles that they just can't run you out of business. But in 1980, they played the same game that LA cops play with the gangs, which is let's just let them fight it out until they kill off one another, and then we won't have to have a problem. That's what they've done to you. And now,
one of the reasons why I am so happy to host shows like this, because it's people like you, Samantha, that amaze me when you bring up stuff like this, because it's obvious that's what they're doing. They're hoping that they don't have to do the hard work. We're going to do it for them.
Okay.
Good.
So,
how about California at 55 miles an hour? What if you only ran California, like let's say 80% of the time? Does that sound like a free market capitalist society to you? If you're having to shut down at the 11th hour and you can't make it to the shipper, and then you lose an entire day on a load, does that sound like a free market to you? Because it doesn't to me.
No. And California is the only state that does that too. That's the bad thing.
And that brings a whole nother point.
DOT pull up beside me in my truck and tell me speed it up stuff, and I've gone doing 63 miles an hour on Highway 58 between Barstow and
Temecula.
Stockton, the Fresno area, and I was doing 63 miles an hour, and all of a sudden I get a trip going on on a bike or even a car flying right by me. I'm doing 63 miles an hour. That's 8 miles over the speed limit, so that's kind of a little bit of a gray area. But still, my point being, they fly right on by me without, but there's always a gray area on some things, but they don't always enforce it.
I've
dangerous, right?
said I've said this numerous times on your Boss Man.
Boss man, can we go to the back to the? Can we go back to the comments?
Sure. Yeah. That's what I'm slowly doing. Yeah.
I want to reply back to the 1099 again.
Yeah, by all means, go ahead. Yeah, I'll try to find it and bring it back up.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead, Thumper.
All right. So I've said this ever since I've been on your show, Boss Man.
Mm-hmm.
You can't add new laws to something that is broken. You got to fix it first before you could add new stuff. And they are refusing to fix it.
Yep. They are. And I fully support what Samantha said a minute ago. I believe what she said is purely the reason why what you just said is true. Go ahead, Vince, or Sean, go ahead.
Yeah. So we got the question again about the 1099, and it says you don't have insurance. That's a decision you made. Been in the business since 2019, and have had medical insurance from day one. And again, trucking is one of these things that what's good for your business might be good for your business, but the next guy or the next gentleman or the next woman coming into the industry, you can't draw a roadmap and say, hey, at the end of the day, this is where you're going to be at, because just like we pre-plan, something's going to happen in the middle of that, right? And then that's going to change the whole outcome of everything. So when you say, hey, maybe you shouldn't have been be a 1099, or maybe you shouldn't have went into business. Again, this is the vital of trucking. 1 minute you're driving, the next minute you might be looking at the scenery. I mean, that is the all about. So,
well, yeah. To your point, though, there's no magic formula for an entire industry. There's no way.
Try to get insurance for your spouse or children in trucking. Try it.
What was that, Vince? I talked over you. I'm sorry.
I was saying, sure, there's a lot of jobs in trucking that will give one person, the driver, medical and dental insurance, which is all crap anyway, if we're being honest. The deductibles are so high, it's not worth it. But as far as a spouse and children, good luck trying to find a job in trucking, 1099 or W-2, that gives you something that's good for your family.
I have to agree with you.
You're not going to find it.
Like I said, I'm a company driver right now. I thought about the carrier that I'm on. They're very good people. They're family orientated and stuff and everything. But what I'm going to try to get to quickly is I've looked at the owner operator program, and it's a very good program. But if I have to pay $700 a week for a truck payment and another almost $600 a week for health insurance at the time, and I'm only getting paid, say, $1.75 all miles, under a load stuff on average, it varies stuff because you can make more as it with your own MC. But to the point, I've talked to owner operators and myself as company driver. The health insurance program is roughly the same. I'm paying almost a quarter of what they would have to come out of their pocket for paying for a family. So I'm paying, say, $500 a month out of my pocket on my pay, and they're paying almost $2,000 a month for theirs.
So, Lyle, you're talking about the government doesn't care about the people. Who remembers watching Reagan on the Johnny Carson show when Reagan turned to Johnny and said, when the government comes knocking on your door and says, hi, I'm the government, I'm here to help. Run.
Okay, you just said your age right there, buddy.
Hey, I remember.
I'll gladly say it.
They're bringing it back to TikTok. How about that? There's people actually using the same words, So maybe not showing his age. He's just lucky.
Well, hold on. There is one person we haven't really heard a whole lot from. What does Billy think?
People, it's time. Amen. You are so right. The reason for this show, the reason for these conversations, everything. We need to get involved. We need to be smart, people. That's how we figure this out. We know the government doesn't care. We know what they're out to do. We know what their aim is. Now it's up to us to band together, not to get armed, not to beat up and beat people up, not to, make things bad, which is what a lot of other platforms and a lot of other channels push. What I suggest is being armed with information. I suggest being armed with a purpose of unity. Now, I know some other former guests that the moment I say that, they're like, unity doesn't happen. You can't do it. No, there's more than just unity and purpose, like gathering and protesting. No, I'm not talking about that. But if we're talking together and we all have the same understanding about what's being done, why it's being done, and what that means for your future, that will go so far to helping you fight for what's yours. To
Hey,
use
boss
Rip as
man.
an example, talking a minute ago about what you pay, dude, you shouldn't be so worried about what you pay. You should be worried about what you make. That's what it's about at the end of the day. And the government is doing its damnedest to reach into your pocket and take every little bit it can and be stealthy doing it.
The Boston Tea Party was accomplished with 6 people. So a lot of people think it's going to take everyone. It really doesn't take that many people to accomplish great things, but it does take people to have courage and to get up and say something and act. If a million of us activated, right, and actually did something and fought back shoulder to shoulder, this country would be a much greater place. Trucking would be so much better.
Amen to that.
It really would.
I heard somebody say it best the other day, right? When it comes to trying to fix our industry and steer it in the direction that we are, and I want to quote him on it. It's a gentleman on TikTok, but he said it best. He said, "Look, we got to look at this like we're playing a basketball game, right? So we have guys that are actually going to be going to Congress and talking in the Washington D.C. We need other players going to your state, talking to your congressmen there. We need guys that maybe don't want to get involved all the way around, but they can go out and protest, right? They can hold a sign up. This is how you build a team to fix our industry, because the government's not here to fix it. We have to fix it ourselves. And the more we realize that they're not here to help us, we need to be doing what he said. We need to be running. And what we need to be doing is running our show to fix our industry, right? And that comes down to training. When we see bad actors in the industry, call them out. Let's like what we're doing right now. We're calling out a bad actor in our industry by saying, hey, look, veterans, this is the way we want you to come in. Instead of welcoming them with opening arms and saying, hey, this is what you could have. Instead, he makes this video about with actors and cutting and pasting it, like that's a joke.
Those probably cost well over $1 million to make.
Yeah, or more, and did it really cost them $1 million, or was that a way to funnel money in their pocket? Because we've seen this with Christy Nome. We just saw this not too long ago, $200 million to make some ads. So we have to ask ourselves, or do we want somebody in an office that's supposed to be fixing our industry wasteful spending our taxes when we could use that money for something else, safety related, right? Let's get every truck driver a safety vest. Let's get them another hard hat. These are things that we're paying. But when we look at all our taxes that we pay, the UCRs, the toll roads, all the way up, IFTA tax. Yeah, we have all these taxes, and we want to use that. If they're going to collect it, let's spend it to where it's supposed to be spent. Let's not be paying for stuff that's overseas out of our infrastructure fund. Let's keep that money what it was collected. Because if you and I were to do something like that, for example, with like a 501c, and we were raising money, and then you decided, hey, you know what, I need to pay my house payment out of this. You committed fraud, right? Why are the people that are in our office doing what they're telling us that we could go to prison for a very long time? So,
Thank you. Exactly.
Like,
hey,
if
we've seen so far, and I mean,
right,
many,
if it's good,
many of them.
Yeah. If it's good for you, it should be good for us. If it's good for the goose, it should be good for the gander. The old saying, right?
Lila says, if we the people don't act, it's all over. I agree with that sentiment. That's exactly right. We need to act, and it's not just, it's not just standing in front of Washington D.C. with a sign and you know, a threatening look on your face. It's actually getting involved in conversations just like this. Go into your local chamber of commerce, talk
Right.
to your town council, talk to the people closest to you. The word works when it goes from the ground up, and that's what a lot of people don't realize. When you think of acting, most people, when you think of acting out and when you think of getting things done, most people think of finding your local state senator or your local representative. No. That's the difficult way, and that's why a lot of people fail. You start at your town council, the local places where you're at. You know, Virginia, New York, North Carolina, all the small cities and towns. And that's where you make the biggest difference. That's where they're passing all the laws and ordinances that eventually wind up filtering up to your Senate level, your congressmen, that wind up being the federal laws
Bingo.
that we, to this day, detest and have such a huge problem with.
Yeah, because if you go to your county commissioner meeting and saying, "Hey, look, my job's at stake from autonomous and what the government's doing and all these taxes, I can't afford to pay my property tax." Well, that's money they want, right? That's money that they need to fund their fire departments or whatever they're funding it with. But when you start saying, "Hey, I can't pay this," they want to start listening, right? They're going to start having that conversation, and then they're going to take it up to the top. But meanwhile, if you didn't get an answer or result from out of the county commissioner, go up to your district leader. They talking to the legislator. So I mean, you just follow the channel, and if you don't know that channel, I'm pretty sure we can do a YouTube video of showing how it actually works. And maybe we should. When I literally talk to a bunch of people about it, they really don't know the channel and the waves that go. We talk, but they don't know how to put a face to it.
Part of the reason I mentioned what I did is the comment on screen now.
I was just going to say, I was going to want to try to make a little bit of a comment on this one.
Go ahead, Griff. You've been silent. Go ahead, by all means.
It was going on about the government. Well, yes, it does. I was up around Syracuse, New York, Buffalo, New York. I was seeing trucks with plates from Mexico up on I-90. I could be down in Texas. I see trucks from Ontario, Canada.
Those are all over the country, by the way.
I know, but my point being is, by law, the trucks from the other countries can only go to the border areas. They shouldn't be on the other side.
Not necessarily. No. Let me stop you.
It's called cabotage.
Let me stop you. Griff, let me stop you.
Yes, but they cannot be transporting loads back from where they're delivering at back down to, like, say, Texas from there.
That's the difference.
I have to correct myself on that. But still,
I wanted to make sure everybody was clear on that. Cabotage laws allow people to take Canadian freight in and then Canadian freight back out, but they can't go from St. Louis to New York on an independent load. They can't. That's cabotage.
They can't bounce around the side.
But there's a loophole in there, right? Once you get across the border, you just put a magnet on there, and then now you're a U.S. carrier, and then that you do. But that happens. And that happens. We've seen it. We've seen it in studies. But those are the loopholes that you're talking about, right? Trust me, I know them. But here's the thing, though, right? In the comment, it says, the government doesn't control my business, right? It's failure or success is my business.
Is mentally used. That's kind of partially a giving up statement, and that's kind of why I highlighted it, because you know what? That's the average person. And 7Cs, I know you better than that. You're not that apt to give up. I mean, I appreciate your sentiment, but that's half the reason why we have the problems we have today, because people think that just because it's you and the government that there's an automatic rights boundary in between you and them. No, there ain't. If they can take it from you, they're going to. They don't care.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So,
can I bring an empathetic voice, please?
Go ahead.
Hey, boss man, I got to get going, brother. Thanks for having me up. Okay, I got to get going.
Thank you. God bless you. I'm glad you were
thanks for
part of
coming
the
in,
show.
man.
All of you.
Yep. God bless you,
Bye,
man.
Vince.
Have a great night, Vince.
Vince, before you go,
later, guys.
Before you go, tell us how we can find you.
You can find me at Truckers Unite now on any social media platform. Trucking the USA Today over on Facebook, and the biggest one you can find us at is WeTheTruckers.com. Go check it out. There's a
Amen.
lot of great trucking advocates over there. We also do lives twice a week, Tuesday 10 a.m. Pacific and Friday 5 p.m. Pacific. So, yeah.
That's on
Thank you for
TikTok.
joining us. Thank you for joining us tonight, Vince. You were a lovely addition to our show. Welcome back anytime.
Thank you, brother. All right, everyone. Take care.
Great.
Later,
no
man.
Samantha, are you hanging out or you ditching
I-
us too?
I'd like to say something real quick to
mean,
Carnivore,
go ahead.
because he makes a great point. I mean, and I remember, thinking, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And
Thank you.
I think sometimes what happens is, well, some of us are extraordinary. All of us are extraordinary in particular areas.
Yes.
But you can't build systems based on the extraordinary. You have to build systems based on, at best, the median, at best. And you should probably build systems based on the weakest member of that system. When we defend systems, broken systems, because the extraordinary are able to accomplish something, we just perpetuate the brokenness.
Right.
And I get that we want people to be, we want them to be self-sufficient. We want them to take personal responsibility. Absolutely. I want those things too. But I also understand that systemic brokenness is exactly that. It is systemic. When you build a system on a broken foundation, everything you build on that foundation will eventually fall down. At some point, you have to go back to the foundation. You have to rebuild that part. And then you have to start building on that with stronger things that will withhold the test of time. So saying, I can do it so everybody can do it, that's an absolute ridiculous statement. Imagine if I don't know, Michael Jordan were running around saying, why can't you all go win 3 basketballs? I mean, isn't that kind of dumb for him to say? So when the rest of us start saying, well, I can do it. I mean, guys, I work 20 hours a day, but I do not hold another human being accountable to that standard. And I don't think that's what we should be doing.
Well, individual choice is just that. It's individual choice. You choose to do your thing. Sean chooses to do his. Grumpy his, mine me. I think everybody should have that God-given right. And purposely and honestly, for the government to sit and dictate, even the idea that we're restricted to 11 hours worth of drive time, to me, is an imposition to my rights. Now, it's federal law. I can't argue it. I can't do anything to violate it because then it looks bad on me. But I look at it as an imposition to my rights because you know what? There are some days when I can handle driving more than 11 hours. But I can't do that now because Big Man has said I can't.
Well, unless you watch that video where you can make your own schedule.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that video says that make your own schedule. Yeah.
Well, I really wish that was true. I would be running, for maybe 5 hours, stop for a little while, if I can find a parking spot, then get going again. But then again, you got the tattletale. It will say, oh, you don't have enough time, so you can't really go anywhere. So you kind of SOL in a way.
Well, and again, that's the thing, right? That goes back to if they're going to collect the money from the road tax and the UCRs and the IFTAs and the fuel tax, what they're collecting it for is for our infrastructure. We should probably build our infrastructure. And what's part of infrastructure? Parking, right? These are the things that you're collecting $1 trillion a year. That's what we should be spending it on, not lobbying, not videos like this, not their own agenda, right? I mean, studies. We just saw a study that's going on that's costing $60 billion for studies to see where parking needs to be. Listen, guys, we could do it for free in our own industry. If you was to ask any truck driver in this show or in this panel, they'd be able to tell you where the parking problems are. We could have it just off of our routes, but then I bet I could probably solve the parking issue in about 30 minutes of where we need to put more parking spots at. Because technology is good if we use it for what it needs to be used for, not technology to replace our jobs, not technology to say, hey, we're going to put out 2,000 employees or 2,000 workers by the end of the year, because here's the thing that we don't see, right? We're looking at this picture of bringing veterans into the industry. We're trying to show that there's a driver shortage. This was what we're talking about. But we have to look at what autonomous is going on. So I watched a video earlier with the CEO talking.
I think we lost him.
They're what's that?
I have no audio from him.
You might have to back out and reset. You might, because I mean, every time somebody jumps in and out, that'll mess with you guys. I don't know why.
So we look at what their plan is, right? Of replacing, right? So the CEO said, "Hey, I want to put in by the end of this year, we're going to see 2,000 trucks from Hirschenbach and a few other ones." But we got to see why they want to go this way. And he said by the next year they want to be doing 10,000 trucks per year to replace our jobs. And he asked Hirschenbach, he said, the lady that was interviewing, she goes, "So are we replacing jobs?" And his response was, "I wouldn't call it replacing it. We're calling it job change. We're going to job change." So when we see this stuff, it's like, wait a minute. So are we taking jobs or
Nice
we
choice.
Yeah, absolutely. But if we take the information and actually put it in, I'm going to say human language, right?
Right.
We know what that means. Not job change. You're taking jobs away. So
yeah.
What is their agenda of right now by doing what they're doing? That's what we got to stay ahead of the game. That's what we got to watch for, and we need to be talking to the people that actually have the power that can say, "Hey, you know what? You're not going to take my job. That we're not going to allow this to happen. This is why we voted you into the office that you are, is to protect the American people." And
that's what they forget. See, a lot of times they forget all that. Guys, if you want to contribute to this show in a more powerful way, you can do it either by coming on the show now. As we're wrapping up tonight, I want you to remember that we're coming to you more and more often. I invite you to be part of it. Also, email me. The email address to the right of the screen, that's truckinnews@outlook.com. That's truckinnews@outlook.com. I take suggestions, and believe you me, I look at all the comments. I look at everything. I've designed this channel to do exactly what Sean's talking about. Get learned, get proactive, get advised, informed, be a part of your future. Because the more you sit on the sidelines and the more you think everybody else is fighting for you, the more you're lying to yourself, and the more you're going to find out, you know what? You didn't have a big sport behind you as you thought you did. You've only got a small fraction until you get involved. It's like I said at the start of the show, you can change a mind in 30 seconds, but you can change a life with one word. That's all it takes. Silence is our enemy, and you are the one that makes the difference. So get involved today. Become a subscriber, a member of my channel. I welcome you in. It takes nothing out of your day to become a subscriber. A little bit out of your wallet to be a supporter, but trust me, it's worth it. You'll get advanced access to my videos and access to my newsletters. It's not something I take for granted. Trust me on that one. So as we wrap up tonight, I invite you, send me your comments, send me your ideas, send me your suggestions. I take them all to heart, and look for me not only here on Sundays for Front Lines, but during the week I'm hosting lives under other names, Headlines, Front, Focus Point, that kind of thing. I'm definitely coming at you more, because the more I talk, the more you hear, the more you have an opportunity to make a difference. I invite that. I encourage it, because without that, we can't do one important thing, and that's make trucking great again. Anybody got something to add to that? William, you've been quiet, so by all means.
I've just been waiting for my turn to jump in, and I got something that's been on my mind for a lot of years.
Go ahead.
You know, I grew up with both my parents being truck drivers. As a kid, it was a totally different world back then. You know, in today's industry, this is not a free thinker kind of society. We are outnumbered by people that are literal warm butts and seats that hold a steering wheel and don't give a crap about anything else. And I'm afraid to say that we're outnumbered in that department. I feel that in our lifetime right now, and our lifestyle is kind of running short, because we stand up and we fight over this, or we try to stand up and do with this. they just got another warm butt that they're going to put in a seat and send down the road.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of where I sit with it, and I've noticed it through the years. You know, I think, you know, I had about a 10 or 15 year hiatus from running I-80, and I went down it for the first time a couple years ago. And
Yeah.
oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Culture shock. Culture shock.
Anything now.
I mean, good old North Dakota and Montana is where I run, and it's nice and quiet. But you get down there, and it's like, oh my gosh, this has really changed.
Wow. It is. Yeah, it has. Yeah. And Thumper will tell you. I mean, he runs up. Well, he used to run up that way. I don't know if he runs out there now, but
No, he's too good for the good old North anymore.
Yeah, I run to Florida a lot.
taking the cheap freight route, huh?
I mean, it was what was it?
I'll let you believe that.
If
I'm
they
picking on you,
but not
Trump.
coming out.
I tell you what, in 6 months, it went from being minus 47 degrees out in Glendive, Montana, to 118 degrees.
Wow.
It's not for the faint of heart up here.
No, it ain't. You're right there. Grumpy, I mean, you know, overall, this whole thing about the veterans and all that, I mean, we've covered a lot of ground tonight, but I mean, when it comes down to that specific video, I mean, where do you stand on that? I mean, what's your thoughts?
My thoughts on it is basically, you know, they're trying to put a rush on retired vets, to stick them in trucks, and some of them may not want to be truck drivers, you know.
Yep.
And just like Thumper brought up and a few of the other ones, the PTSD syndrome, you know, I mean,
Yep.
that's an issue. It can be bad for some drivers that come out of the military. And it's not something that you just go out here and make money. It's a lifestyle. It's not just a living. I've said it several times. I've been doing this for 25 plus years. I'm now basically retired by health issues. But you know, the government needs to quit putting their hands in our heel, basically, and messing with stuff. Leave us alone.
They do. They need to actually start doing what they're supposed to do, and that's
one quick thing I will say too.
If you've asked two people what they're supposed to do, you're going to get two different answers, and neither one of them are going to agree with that. Go ahead, Grumpy. Last thing.
Just one real quick thing. It's not the subject here, but it was part of the touch on what you said. Those of you that want to be able to follow Boss Man and see him whenever he does go live, not only do you need to hit that subscribe and that little bell that's next to it, if you click all, then anytime he posts something or he gets ready to go live or any of that, you will be notified shortly after that. So always remember to click the all if you want to be able to continue catching him at any time, because he's a driver just like I used to be and like all the other panel is. And sometimes we can't say, okay, I'm going to be on at 7 o'clock tonight.
Yeah.
Things happen.
That's unfortunately a thing. I wish I could stick to a schedule, but because I'm a full-time driver and I do this on a part-time basis, I'll be up here as much as I can. But unfortunately, that limits me. I can only come up here when I'm on break. So, you know, if you see my thumbnails, if you see my show announcements, by all means, join me. I welcome every one of you in. So thank you for saying that, Grumpy. How do we find
of course,
you?
Boss Man, well, they can find me here on YouTube under Grumpy_Giggles. They can find me on TikTok, Grumpy_Giggles on there as well. I'm also on Facebook. I believe it's either Grumpy Giggles, one word, or Grumpy space Giggles. Either way, you'll find me. I'm on some other platforms, but I don't ever really post anything or go to them. But those are the three main platforms I usually do posting to. I go live mostly on this platform and mostly on TikTok. TikTok, I'm usually live Friday and Saturday nights, 7 p.m. Central Time, as long as my health is holding up well. And then when Boss Man does a show on Sunday nights, I come over here and I simulcast with him. Boss Man and I go way back. We've been friends for almost 4 years now. He's a great guy. He brings great content up for everybody, and we'd love to see you come and enjoy it every week and every day. If he could do live every day, I guarantee the man would.
Margarine or parquet? because you're really working it. You're really working it right now, there, buddy. I'll tell you honestly.
Hey,
Grip,
what
what
are
say
brothers
you?
for?
Yeah, I hear you. Grip,
Well,
what do you say?
After kind of getting more information and getting in on it stuff and missing the video and watching it the second time through, my opinion, all it is driver shortage 2.0 is what they're trying to push.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong. Veterans do need a way to kind of go transition from the military into a civilian job where they can make money and everything. So it's
yeah.
But with what they're doing, I looked at the main page stuff and everything, and the majority of the sponsors are the mega carriers, Snyder, the Stevens Transport,
CR England.
You know, it's
CR England. There you go. Yeah.
They're just making them, but they don't tell them what they're going to get paid when they go in as a company driver, and they'll be barely making a living.
I'll tell you what, when I went in out of the Marine Corps, I went into truck driving. In my first 6 months, I was living on ketchup and crackers, and I ain't even kidding you. It was bad.
Yep.
Right now, as a company driver, I'm doing okay, but I haven't made enough to pay off my credit cards, which I was living off when my truck was down on me and everything. And still trying to pay some. Luckily, I'm kind of getting my truck through my brother, so I can kind of do a partial payment to him and everything. But more or less, though, I'm doing okay, but I'm not anywhere close to where I want to be when I started this year ago. I was only planning on doing this at most for 6 months, then be back in my own truck and trying to be making money and everything. But that didn't quite work out.
Carolina says, well, I'll say this. It must not be too bad because we're all still here choosing to be trucking rather than something else.
And I would say it's like having a bad relationship, abusive relationship, and you're getting beaten and you still got to come back at the end of the day, that's trucking right now, we're being stacked.
I brought you back up, Grumpy, because the wife came in and added this to the show. No acorns.
I was gonna say don't drop people because I lose audio every time. I know we're at to do ending a little different.
He's back. He would even if I do that backstage thing.
Yes, that's why I left and came back. So we're have to figure out the format at the end on what we normally do. It might have to be a little different.
That's what I was starting. Yeah, that's what I was starting, but I didn't want to announce it because you know how that works. But yeah.
Yeah. But I wouldn't drop anybody, otherwise I'm not going to hear crap.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I will bear that in mind. Well, we're going to be beginning that process here in just a moment, so I'll do it differently tonight. I'll work with you. Warm day today in Minnesota.
Hey, another Minnesota guy.
Yeah, there you go. Last week was good. Cool air coming back down. Thank God we can use it. And welcome to the show. Nice to see a new face in the comments.
Yeah, it's actually bad when Florida is colder than you guys up north right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
There's 106 here in Bismarck.
Yeah.
It was gross. It's freaking sweaty butt weather. I mean,
yeah.
I'm over it.
Yep. Well, William, as we go through and get everybody's last thoughts, what say you on this video? Come on.
I mean, there's a lot to take in on it. I mean, if it was like an optional thing, like I said, if it was something that the VA would be like, hey, we're going to pay for you guys, go through some training and stuff like that. If it's what you want to do, it's an option. But if it's something that's being forced upon people, I'm definitely not okay with it.
No,
I mean, like I said, it's a whole different world getting out and onto America's roads in a commercial vehicle than it is to be in a 7-ton or any of the other tactical vehicles that I've ever driven.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, you're old enough for those Humvees.
Oh, gross! Don't get me started on the. I tell you what, you go faster than 55 in a Humvee, you'll know what it's like to be in the space shuttle re-entering the atmosphere.
Is that bad, huh?
You'll be amazed on how many people you can actually fit into a Humvee. I've been in the back of one with 16 people. It was very tight quarters, but I still slept nonetheless because I was tired as shit.
Yep.
I didn't know this, but until I joined the Marine Corps, you can fit 23 people in a porta crapper.
Mm-hmm.
You can shove them all in there and shut the door. Yep.
Jesus, wow, yeah. Well, Sean, I'm going to leave you with parting words before I wrap up the end of the show, my friend. What's your thoughts on this whole video campaign and what we need to do moving forward to make trucking the best it can be?
Well, I think on the video, as we use our money, right? As Vince said it in before, that is taxpayers' money. We should have our input in on it, right? Anything that's going to go into the trucking industry. See, we've had a system that big sponsorships. They're the ones that actually made the decision for trucking, right? You paid them $105 a month, or some of them are even out of your how much you made in a year per driver, and that's what you paid for your dues. Now we're in a time to where if we don't get involved, it doesn't matter how much you're going to pay a month. We're going to lose those rights or those opportunities. And why I say that is because we've done research. There's team after teams has been looking into what our future is for the next 10 years. And what we're seeing coming down the pipeline for truck drivers is not good at all. And I've never seen another industry where we pay to replace our jobs, right? And when I say that, with all our taxes that we're paying, we're replacing the jobs. Government is giving out a lot of money to do new AI technology, to autonomous self-driving trucks, and those are the things that we have to look at. This is what we have to revolve around. But then we see the Build America 250 Act that we have to stay close to. It's something that has to pass on September 30th. It's not a passer.
Here's something else I just happened to think of. I did queue it up. I was going to play it. So yeah, I'm probably going to continue running a little bit. But here's something that I think will really get you go, because you just mentioned AI. Check this out.
And system being tested went rogue and hacked another AI company on its own. The incident is fueling calls for stronger safeguards as AI systems expand at a rapid pace. Here's ABC's Elizabeth Schulze.
Tonight, lawmakers are sounding the alarm and calling for a so-called kill switch that would allow federal authorities to stop artificial intelligence after the company behind ChatGPT revealed an unprecedented cyber incident. OpenAI says 2 of its advanced models went rogue, breaking out of a security test last week, accessing the internet, then hacking into the systems of another company, AI startup Hugging Face.
And they want us to trust all this AI. They want us to trust that they know that these robotics can actually do the job.
I've said it. I've said it several times.
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood has a way of tattletelling on our future. And Terminator comes to a bell whenever I see this.
Hold up.
Yeah, I was thinking of my robot.
Grumpy, don't even start, because you use AI out of all of us a lot more.
I understand AI and I know how to respond with it.
Yeah.
Well, see, and here's the thing, though, right? So we, as we look at autonomous self-driving trucks come into our industry, this video makes sense out of, what is it going to do? We've seen small cases, but the numbers that they say, it's just like this video, right? Nobody's ever fact-checked it to say, hey, can a real true veteran come into our industry and make 6 figures in a year? Can they get health insurance paid for? No one's ever actually pulled that apart until now, because as we see politicians, I would say they prey upon us, right? Because they're going to say what they want, and we're gonna take what they're going to say for granted, and we're going to believe it. Now there's people out there, there's organizations now that are saying, hey, what they say, let's go figure it out and find the true numbers. Let's see if the math is mathing or if it's not mathing. And hold these guys accountable. And how do you hold them accountable is by talking about what it is. Because if we don't stay in front of our industry, they're going to make it for us. They're going to change whatever they want, how they want us to predict. And here's the bad thing, right? You're taking American dream away, right? So when I look
And the
at
amount,
veterans,
I was going to
when I
say
look
the
at
amount of times they put up comment periods and nobody has said a word.
right, and we just did. So there was one with the triangles, right? There was once it was found out, this organization said, "Hey, we have to push everybody to try to get it." So they went on social media. They talked about it. Ended up being 440 comments on triangles, and that leads me to another thing.
That's sick.
When we look at when we look at autonomous and they're trying to change the rules for a big tech to have whatever freedom they want, why can't we have that? Why can't we decide to choose if we want to put triangles out or if we want to put a caution light? I can tell you why. I can tell you why we don't have that choice is because we care about the roads. We care about the safety. What does a big tech care about? You know, these guys rush, right? And we can see this, right? We've seen it with flock cameras. We're seeing it with data centers. We're seeing it with everything that's being in a big movement right now. This is their goal, right? They start an LLC. You know what the first thing they're trying to do? They want to get to be a public trade company. That is what they're rushing for. So now when we see autonomous and robotaxi and Waymo, they've got it that far. They are in a area now that they're public trade. So now we have investors that you're going to have to go against, not just an LLC, not just a company. Now you have
how many
tons
times
of people.
How many times have people ever been able to go up against investors and actually make a dent? You don't.
Zero.
You don't.
It's barely.
Once they're involved and once everybody's got money on it, game's over. Game's done.
Then we see the government bail them out, right? We've seen this thing before, right? When something happens.
Right?
I mean, honestly, taxpayers' money gets spent in it. Look at the banking. Look at history. History's always going to tell you what it's doing. So, so these are the problems that we're having in our industry. That as a truck driver, I say professional driver. Truck driver to me is on the low ball, right? That's telling me that you're just holding a steering wheel. A professional driver.
I was just going to say, there's two classes of drivers. There's the ones that hold the steering wheels that work for another company. And then there's us. There's ones that are totally vested. We've got all our money, all our thoughts, all our passion, and everything we have about us is riding on 18 wheels. And what freight we can get, what rules are against us, what things we have to decide to do, not only today, but tomorrow. We're the ones. We actually, I can't discount company drivers because without them, a lot of negative goes on too. But a lot rides on the owner operator. A lot rides on the individual businessman that's running a truck. A lot rides on our ability to be able to do what we do. And the more we sit idle and the more we stay silent, the worse it's going to get, especially when we have the opportunity, as much as it pains us, to actually talk, state our place, and make it known. We're going to be here tomorrow, just like I'm making my case now. Front lines will be here tomorrow. You guys, I encourage you, come back tomorrow. We're going to live to see another day. But that will only happen if you get involved and make your point known. Isn't that right, Thumper?
Oh yeah, it always works out that way. So, if you're playing music, I can't hear it, but we'll just go with it. Okay.
Yep. Right.
So we had a great show. We really did. I mean, we're going on 2 hours. Awesome. And we did. We had some really good conversations. We got riled up. We spoke what we thought, and that's what needs to happen. So, as far as veterans, we welcome you to the industry. There are tools out there to help you with your PTSD, all that other stuff out there, but you got to reach out and figure it out. And the other thing is don't believe that video. They're just lying. Can you make $100,000? Absolutely, in a specialty part in trucking. That's that. If you do a general freight, ain't happening. But anyways, I'm gonna make this real quick. God bless America, 250 years strong. Let's keep going for another 250. God bless EMTs, firefighters, military personnel. Truck drivers. We don't get the love like everybody should. So if you're out there, thank a truck driver, thank a firefighter, EMT, military. We're all rooting for you guys out there. And like Mr. Bo right here, and I always say, We don't do it just for us and our families. We do it for you guys.
Amen to that. That is so true. And every day we come to you guys, we want to bring you the scoop, the truth, and we want to bring it to you straight. So believe me, come back, see us again, subscribe today, join our membership, be part of our show. We encourage it. Silence is our enemy, and you speaking up is what's going to keep the front lines moving like it is. Thank you for you all watching and joining. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow, right here on Frontlines. Till then, remember, it's the trucks that make the deliveries, but it's you that make the difference. Keep it rolling, my friends.